This is not a kid-friendly show.
Yo, what is really good, my dudes? Today is June 26, 2017, and we got another RuneScape update for ya. So, no major game update today. However, we will get the new Sophonim Slayer dungeon boss next week, assuming all things permit and they reach their deadlines, etc. That being said, we do have some really interesting patch notes to go over, so without any further ado, let's just jump right into those. Bladed Dive no longer deals damage while used during global cooldown. The value of items stored in Nomad's chest now lists on the interface. Adrenaline's now cleared when switching PvP target by using Bladed Dive while on global cooldown. While using combat channeling abilities, you can now click away to stop the channel. Attack checks for Sliske's staff Shadow Clone have been tightened up. The following fixes has been made to Scopuli. Scopulus will now correctly find his partner if he's been apart from him for too long, and then find a new target. Provoke should now correctly draw the Scopulus to you. Note, Provoke will not work when Scopulus is in search of his partner. They will no longer switch targets if they are within range of each other. They will now switch targets if they have been stood in the same place for too long. The player will now always face the low shield wall in the Birthorpe Agility course before playing the climb over animation. Slayer helmets now correctly equipped from the bank menu. An informative tooltip has been added to all summoning familiar pouches. Viswax is now taken after confirming your Harmony Pillar reset rather than before. Mogres will no longer instantly despawn in your player-owned Slayer dungeon. You'll no longer receive a message that you've unlocked an XP boost for Slayer when adding the same soul to the chest in your player-owned Slayer dungeon. You now have a chance to get Ushabti from the Rush of Blood D&D. Players will now receive 250 rep for each new Slayer monster added to the Slayer Codex, and retroactively rewarded 250 reputation for each already added. Fishermen have found their way to the docks in Menafos, so you can partake in the Fish Flingers D&D. Strange rocks can now be obtained from all fishing spots, excluding those within Demonheim. Acadia logs now have the same junk chance as magic logs when disassembling. The casket salvaging scrimshaw will now work while fishing in Menafos. The polishing perk will now work on fish caught in the ports district in Menafos. Some of the Rune Treasure Trail armor has been renamed to prevent trade scams. They now follow this format: Rune Plate Body (Bandos). It's now possible to extend time for existing portables by using the Extend Portable option on your portable object. You can now sell all the teletabs from Menafos in the Grand Exchange. The warning message previously displayed when trying to attack desert mining camp guards has been removed. Ironman can now use Shield Dome and Prism of Dowsing spells. A new option has been added to Withian in Prifdinnis. You are now able to exchange Motherlode Maw enhancers for Motherlode shards at a 1-to-1 ratio. On top of this, you can exchange used enhancers for a percentage of a shard. Shout out to Mod Rowley for doing this in his spare time. Moving on to ninja fixes. Removing active scrimshaws will no longer require you to turn them off first. Attuned crystal teleport, armor, and weapon seats now have a destroy option instead of drop. You can now disassemble crystal tree blossoms for a chance of crystal parts. Active spells now have a red outline for the main hand spell and yellow outline for the offhand spell selected. It's now possible to split attack, strength, magic, defense, and constitution sub-tabs out of their own window. You can now right-click effigies in the inventory to select skills. The spell Crystal Mask can now be cast once again to refresh the effect before the buff expires. The Clue Scroll interface now displays scanning while scanning. Quick Lodestone teleports now play override landing animations. Non-treasure hunter skilling outfits should now redeem from Diango. Players can now give inventory to a Beast of Burden familiar by using the familiar menu or by setting the left click option on the summoning button. There's now less chat when paying Sanibotch to enter Brimhaven Dungeon. An offhand has been added to the pair of the Wand of Cywir, the Orb of Cywir, obtainable from Hellware in the heart of Gielinor. Familiars will now be force called to areas when teleporting, provided they have room to enter. The stock of the following shops now resets at midnight game time. When possible, we intend to make this case for all shops where applicable. Garant's Fishy Business, Shante Pass Shop, Lumbridge Fishing Supplies, Fremnik Fishmonger, Exeteria Fish, Island Fishmonger, Fernan Hayes Fishing Hunt, Gift Shop, Fishing Guild Shop, Ava's Odds and Ends, Slayer equipment from both Spraya and other Slayer Masters, Contraband Yak Produce, Ali's Discount Wares, Baba Yaga's Magic Shop, Magic Guild Store, Void Knight Magic Store, Lundale's Arena Side Rune Shop, and Two Tabs Magic Market. Group members should now broadcast their death to the party. The Slayer counter can now be expanded for further information on your Slayer points, Slayer task streak, and current Slayer assignment weakness. From the Slayer counter, click the Slayer icon to expand the window. And some hot fixes that went live throughout the week are luck rings will now improve the rare drop table from the Soften M Slayer creatures, and the daily limit was removed from the Aiding the Exile event. So that wraps it up for your game update. Bunch of very useful patch notes. Hope you enjoyed them. Link to the patch notes will be down in the description below should you choose to check them out yourself. You can do so there. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.